Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Andrew Erickson here from the Full Press Coverage Fantasy Football Podcast. I am here, flying solo here at, Gillette Stadium practice field, practicing facilities for those watching on YouTube. So I'm also, recording the podcast here, and I just want to talk to you guys today about the New England Patriots and some of the players. I went to a training camp this past Saturday. I wanted to kind of do some self-scouting about some particular players I had question marks about, and I wanted to kind of share my findings with you guys here today. So we'll kind of get right into it. Obviously, I'm here at Gillette Stadium, and, in the background with the fans here. It is hot. But so here's a couple of those, some things I noticed, right off the bat. So, as I got there, obviously we saw, the teams lining up and, just doing normal kind of drills in terms of, 11 and 11. That's one of the big things that I want to pay attention to the most. So initially, the way that one of the formations lined up that I saw pretty frequently was Dorsett in the slot, Hogan on the outside, and Cordell Patterson in motion a lot. So we saw a lot of motion. The Patriots offense is obviously very dynamic and they move a lot of guys in motion. But what I saw the most of was Cordell Patterson in particular. I think that Cordell Patterson is going to be a guy that they move a lot around the field, a lot of jet sweeps, reverses. He's going to be obviously really important in the kicking game, special teams, returning punts, returning kickoffs. So I really do like Cordell Patterson to be used in a very non-traditional way. I don't think we're going to see him really doing a lot of regular receiver stuff, but I think we're going to be seeing a lot of misdirection plays. I mean, could even see him take some handoffs. You never know with the Patriots. But so that's kind of what I see his role there. Hogan was particular. He lined up outside, but he didn't always line up exclusively outside. I'll get into it a little bit when I talk about the 2-minute drill, but Hogan was lining up outside as the primary X receiver, and he also lined up in the slot during the 2-minute drill. Other things I noticed, Dietrich Wise is a massive human being, huge arms. I know that guys have been talking about, Dietrich Wise, Trey Flowers as potential, studs, and I know it's not super fantasy relevant, but, this pass rush could finally kind of come around, with those guys, on the edges, Dietrich Wise and Trey Flowers are able to kind of take that next step. The guy that I did notice that was kind of hard to miss, and it's not Gronkowski. It was Trent Brown, the left tackle that they traded for from San Francisco. So he's filling in for Nate Soldier. I know that a lot of people had kind of looked at Isaiah Wynn as a possible, guy to play left tackle, but realistically, it doesn't look like he's built to be a tackle. He's much shorter and stout, much built more like a guard is. A left guard, right guard. I think that he was playing, snaps at left guard. I think I saw him play a little bit of tackle too. But right now it looks like Trent Brown is going to be the starting left tackle. So I do like that. He's a big dude, and obviously, he's not Nate Soldier, but we'll see. So hopefully he can protect Brady's blind side for those fantasy owners that have Brady. The other, guys that I wanted to mention, Dwayne Allen, he's still not a really good tight end and not very dynamic. There was one play where Brady kind of overthrew him, but he really didn't have a chance to really make much of a play on the ball itself. And then the biggest news that I saw from the practice was my guy, Sony Michel, put the ball on the ground. He fumbled literally first carry I saw. He puts the ball on the ground. I literally wrote in my notes like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. So it's super frustrating with Sony Michel if he's going to be doing these fumbling things. If he's going to be continuing to fumble, have issues with fumbling, it's very disheartening as a fantasy owner because these guys going 4th, 5th round, and he might not even get to play if he fumbles. Belichick has been known, obviously, everyone knows that he doesn't like people to fumble the ball, especially in a game that's won by turnovers where the Patriots, are usually, if they don't turn the ball over, they usually win. So it's not necessarily going to be worth the Patriots to benefit if, Belichick finds that Michel is a liability in turning the ball over. So they need to make sure that he's ready before they kind of put him out there. But as of right now, I am buying Rex Burkhead. Rex Burkhead right now is going to be the starting running back for the New England Patriots week 1 for sure. I'm pretty convinced. Just because we've seen this. I mean, Sony Michel, he's fumbling in non-full contact. Yes, they're wearing pads, but it's not 100% full speed. They're not finishing drive, but it's at the end of the play, someone just comes swats for the ball out. And defenses are going to know that he's having trouble with the ball, so that's what they're going to do. They're going to try to swat the ball out. So it's very, 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 it's very worrisome, really, for his fumbling. And, I'm a big Michel fan. Like, have written stuff about him. I like him a lot. I like his skill. I think that, his upside is out of an Alvin Kamara kind of player. Super dynamic in the passing game, in the running game. He can do a lot of different things, very explosive. But it's just this fumbling thing, and we might be a year out from Michel, possibly. And, okay, and then the first round capital. Totally get it. People are saying, oh, well, they never spent, first round draft pick, so-and-so this, so-and-so that. And it's like, okay, that's fair. So, look to the, if you're on YouTube right now, you can see the image here. But, so what number is Sony Michel wearing? He's wearing 51. Actually, I listened to another podcast, and they're like, oh, wait, running backs can wear 51? Like, what's up with that? So, that's because Belichick doesn't give rookies numbers. That they have to earn their numbers. Just like he has to earn playing time. So, it doesn't matter that Sony Michel got drafted in the first round if he keeps fumbling the ball. Because if he keeps fumbling the ball, he's never going to play. And it's going to be Rex Burkhead, it's going to be James White, it could be freaking Jeremy Hill. It's just not going to be him if he fumbles the ball. And it's very concerning that we've literally been at training camp for like not even a week or so, and he's already fumbling the ball. Like, it's very disheartening. Again, I'm sure that's the right word to use here, but I'm buying Burkhead. Burkhead's going in like the 8th round of fantasy drafts. Michel's in the 5th round. Like, you're going to be hurting if you take Michel and you have to start him the first couple weeks of the season, because I think he's not going to be playing much, and I think you're going to struggle in the beginning of the season. I think that Michel is a perfect guy to target in trades. So after 4 weeks, if Burkhead solidified himself, because I think eventually it will be Michel that kind of will take that role once he can be trusted, hang on to the ball, because I think he's obviously the most dynamic player on the running back position on the Patriots. But right now, buy Burkhead. Buy Burkhead. I can't stress it enough. He's going to be he's so cheap, 8th round. He's going to be starting running back on the New England Patriots. He's going to get tons of touches, tons of goal line carry. It's just go with Burkhead. And I just kind of fade Michel a little bit. I'm fading Michel because his fumbles, I saw firsthand, and it's just kind of waved my eye open. You hear about them talking about, he's got fumbling problems. It's not a big deal, but no, he legit has fumble problems. It's not even full speed. So that was my really big concern. That was one of my big takeaways from Patriots training camp. Just the fact that he fumbled, and realistically, in the couple runs he did have, and he was also running with the third team. Burkhead didn't run with the third team, and on 2-minute drill it was Burkhead, or James White was in with the ones. Burkhead was in with the twos on the 2-minute drill, and then Michel was running. He was splitting reps with, I think it was Ralph Webb, who's another running back on the Patriots. I don't never even heard of him. He was splitting time with Sony Michel with the third team offense. So if that tells you anything about where Michel's at right now, it's kind of buried in the depth chart a little bit. He's not he's had reps with the ones and Brady, but he's got a long way to go. It's not his job yet. He's got to earn it. So we have some time there with him. So I'm going to check my notes again. It says Burkhead. So we're going to continue to ride with Rex Burkhead there. A defensive note, Deron Harmon, wearing the new 21 jersey from Malcolm Butler. So he had 2 interceptions in the practice. So, IDP leagues, if Deron Harmon, he's the guy, who knows? Could be something. Jeremy Hill actually looked kind of lean. It was weird. So him and Gillislee get kind of paired together. But Jeremy Hill looks significantly leaner than Mike Gillislee. So I'm not sure if Hill is trying to, pick up some speed and maybe more of a, instead of just being, I'm just like a power back, trying to transform a little bit there. Edelman, still looks really good, quick and fast. He doesn't look like he's really, obviously it's still, everyone kind of looks quick and fast. It's not, always full padded practices and things like that. So, Brian Hoyer had a nice touchdown to Devin Lucien, who the Patriots brought back after last year. Lucien's just kind of another depth guy that they have had on the team before. So, I'm not sure. There's so many receivers on this team. It's all over the place. So he's another guy that, is kind of fighting for a position. So moving on now to the 2-minute drill offense. So they, like I said, so there was 3 teams. So there was the starters did a 2-minute drill. The second team did a 2-minute drill, and then there was a third team that did a 2-minute drill. So of the starting O on the 2-minute drill for the starters, so it was Hogan, who was actually lined up on the slot. You had Matthews Jordan Matthews line up on the outside. Edelman was on the other outside, follow with Gronkowski, obviously, and James White. So no surprises there, really. Matthews on the outside and Hogan in the slot is a little bit different than you'd expect. But Matthews actually got 2 targets on the outside. He had a really nice sideline catch from Brady, and then he got targeted again by Brady. But then Hogan actually ended up catching the touchdown from the slot. And I'm just thinking that I realistically think that, if any receiver is going to benefit, it's Hogan. Hogan has been there before. Hogan has the trust of Brady. Hogan has been a beast before. He was a beast last year before he got hurt. So another guy, it's weird. You look at the Patriots offense with Tom Brady and Gronkowski, and, it's one of the best offenses in the league. It's probably going to be top 5 again. And yet I'm pretty sure there are more Browns players going in the top 100 than Patriots players. So there's that. Draft Chris Hogan. Draft Rex Burkhead. Like, these guys were all values, super, especially in the beginnings of your leagues, because there's no Edelman. And Burkhead is going to be the starter until Michel kind of, starts to find his niche, find his role. So you got to, just chase. Picking players on good offenses is always a good strategy. Like, it works all the time. So fade out of the way the Cleveland Browns players that are all super hyped up for no freaking reason, and draft Patriots players because they're going to be good, because they're going to score a lot, because that's what they do every single year. They just score a lot of touchdowns. So, and then looking at Matthews. So, Matthews had a really nice catch on the sideline from Brady. And, Hogan caught the touchdown from the slot. So, just kind of repeating myself again there, just, trying to keep track. But I did like to see what I saw from the first team offense. That's the starters. And seeing Matthews on the outside I thought was interesting. I think they're going to move him around a little bit. On the second team, you had Cordell Patterson on the outside. You had Riley McCarron in the slot. So I'll talk briefly about Riley McCarron. So a lot of people had assumed that was going to be Braxton Berrios. So I would kind of be like, that white wide receiver that's going to take over for the Patriots, as that Wes Welker role. It's actually probably not going to be Berrios. Berrios is kind of behind a little bit. Riley McCarron is the guy you want to target. So in dynasty leagues, like if you have Berrios, I would drop Berrios and pick up Riley McCarron right now. Riley McCarron has he's already been on the Patriots. He was with them last year. He'd been on the Texans. He's been in the league already, so he's not a rookie. So he's been in the league before, and he's been in training camp, and he's done this all. But he looks really good. He's starting the slot receiver as a second in the second team offense. So he's already ahead of Berrios in that case, and they seem to like him. He's returning punts. He's doing a lot of different things. He's catching everything. I really liked what I've seen with him, and he's had really good chemistry with both Brian Hoyer and Danny Etling, the LSU quarterback that the Patriots took in the 7th round. So McCarron is probably going to have some really nice games in the preseason. We kind of saw it last year with Austin Carr, another slot guy that, the Patriots offense just kind of works really well with slot receivers. So they just do, a really good job, kind of showing them off and showcasing them. So I expect that his stock will kind of rise up, as the preseason, kind of tends to continue. So in really deep leagues, dynasty leagues, Riley McCarron, you want to grab him now before he starts, the highlight reels show up during the preseason. And then, so you also had, Dorsett was on the outside as well in the second team offense, along with Jacob Hollister at tight end and Rex Burkhead at the running back position. So, Burkhead and White are going to be interchanged, but it's just Burkhead can do the most right now and has the most trust of Brady. Brady even posted, last year obviously was Burkhead that had injured Brady's thumb, and Brady had posted something on Instagram with, handing the ball off to Burkhead and then kind of giving a thumbs up later, kind of throwing some shade at Rex Burkhead a little bit there, but saying, it's all good, we're ready for 2018, we're going to do our thing. So that's there. Looking at the second team, and then I didn't write down everyone from the third team offense. I just know that during the 2-minute drill, it was a lot of Sony Michel and Webb. I think it's Ralph Webb. Someone's gonna have to check it on me, but he's a running back on the Patriots. So with Sony Michel, again, it's just don't overspend on him now. It's not gonna work. Initially, I would say trade for him as the season gets on, but right now, I was a big Sony Michel guy. I took him like literally that day in a mock draft in the 4th round, and then I was deciding between him and Lamar Miller, and now it couldn't be clearer who I want. And it could be some recency bias. I just saw him fumble, but at the same time, Lamar Miller has lost some weight. That's what I want to hear from my running backs. Leaning up, gives them some more speed, gives them agility. The biggest thing with Lamar Miller has been he's been just kind of not. He's been able to break away runs. He hasn't been able to be agile. He's just kind of been a big loaf. Has been Lamar Miller. Is kind of the best way to describe him. So, I mean, right now it's Lamar Miller for me over Sony Michel. It's not even a question. So, McCarron, he's returning punts with Barrios as well. And then, the other thing with Burkhead was signing autographs. First guy to go over and sign autographs for the kids. That's a guy you want on your fantasy team. A guy like Rex Burkhead. No hair, doesn't care. He's going to sign out kids' autographs. Get him on your fantasy teams. So that does kind of wrap me up for today, guys. I know it's a quick little podcast here, just over the 15-minute mark. I just wanted to kind of come at you guys with some facts from the Patriots training camp. Hopefully you guys can take away some good stuff from this. Talking about, obviously Sony Michel, a big part of it, and that the fumbling thing is a real issue. So I I would say it's just so much safer to just draft Burkhead. Take him later. Michel just has his range of outcomes is extremely large right now. So there's a chance he could be Gillis, like he could be, on the bench and in the doghouse. And there's also a chance he could be Alvin Kamara. That's literally his upside. I like that from him. But if you remember, last year, two things are different with him and Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara was barely went undrafted in a lot of leagues in redraft. Because no one really knew who he was right on the depth chart. And he also didn't really play that much of the first 4 games while Adrian Peterson was there. So the difference now is that Sony Michel's already going in the 5th round. He hasn't done any of that stuff yet. So I just think you're going to be disappointed initially with him. So that's why I think, hey, don't give up on him though. So if you do draft him, you got to hold him. But if you are smart, draft Burkhead now, trade for Sony Michel in the season, and then you'll be all good by the time December rolls around. So that's my tip for you guys today. So once again, you can follow me on Twitter at @AndrewErickson_, and I will be coming to you guys, in the later weeks. And we got football on this week, Hall of Fame game. Let's go, baby. Get your popcorn ready. T.O. won't be there, but still have our popcorn ready. All right, talk to you guys later. Bye.